Wait for this and then you can go, okay, in like 1 minute. So where are we today? We are all right down right here, okay? So number one, what we are doing today, quiet, listening, Noah. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do some notes. We've got 2 more shapes to cover. They're all formula based. As we do the notes, we'll do a real quick review of what we've done because a fair amount of you have been away. You have all the videos to watch on Google Classroom so that you're never really away. Okay. Number 2. Okay. The second thing we're going to do then is you can finish assignment 8. And we're going to talk about assignment 8 real quickly as we do this. So there's 2 new questions for today. That's it, just 2. Okay, the rest you should have all done. There's one that we're going to cross off. I'll talk about that as we review it. Yes. The third thing we're going to do, some people have done quiz 2, some people are just starting quiz 2, but quiz 2, you're expected to complete self-mark and hand in. Okay, so that's expected to be completed. The expectations of where you should be is you should be starting quiz 2, but some people have other work to work on to catch up. Okay. Then number 4, the measuring lab is the assignment for today. The measuring lab, I can't spell measure today. Measuring lab. The measuring lab involves you actually taking things and measuring them. So you'll be using these tape measures, and the blue ones are best because the blue ones have inches on one side, centimeters on the other side. Do note that the yellow tab is not 0. The 0 line starts about 2 centimeters inside. So make sure you're starting to measure from 0. Okay? And then don't forget at the end, you press this little yellow button and it rolls it back up. Okay? Show you one more time, yellow button. Ooh la la, that's pretty fancy. Okay? So, measuring lab, you're going to measure things like your desks, your textbooks, the expo markers, things like that. Okay? Practicing measuring and using reference as well. Reference are like your thumb length, your finger width, your foot, your stride from your nose to your finger stretched out. Those are all reference that you'll use. Okay? And so expected today, measuring lab is done. Number 5, the last thing. No one's probably going to start this, but there might be 1 or 2, is the project. Okay? So the measuring lab is separate from the project, but it's going to count just like the project. It's going to be worth a lot of marks. Can you actually measure something? All right. Any questions about what we're doing today? Julie? Okay, it is written on the board as well to help you out. Okay. So let's go over the notes first, and then we'll go over the assignment, and then let you guys go. Julie, if you need to go real quick right now. Okay. So from your notes, let's turn to page 30. Let's go to page right here. Page 31. Okay, page 31. Page 31. Go find page 31. Surface area. So, hey, Ben, pay attention. So, 3 unique faces for the rectangular solid, rectangular prism. We have the top, bottom, front, back, and then the left, right. So those unique faces give us the formula. You're listening. Okay. Top, bottom, left, right. Malik, pay attention. Front, back. Find those 3 answers, then add them up at the end. I wouldn't use the formula, I never do, because often you have to take pieces away. Alex, what is so funny? Can you guys be a little mature, please? Alex, do you need to go outside? Because they seem to be laughing at you.
I'm not doing that.
Pay attention, huh? Okay. So you got your 3 sides. You add them up, making sure you double your 3 different rectangles. The square was real simple, 6s squared. S because it was a square face that's repeated itself 6 times. For your work, Up top, we expected 3 lines of work. Right? Formula, substitute, solve if you're using the formula. If you weren't using the formula, I'm expecting to see a front, back, a left, right, top, bottom, and then a final surface area. Okay? Again, you can double all these numbers as you go along, or once you add them, double them. Your choice. Okay? For the square, for the cube, the dice, formula, substitute, 2 lines to solve. Okay? That's what I'm expecting to see for your work. For the cylinder, same idea. We have 2 circles, 2 pi r squared. The barrel is a rectangle, so it's length times width. In this case, it's the circumference times the height. So 2 pi r times h, 2 pi r h. Okay? Find the answers, and then the last step is to do the addition in the middle. Their formula that they use had them switched apart, but it does not matter. Again, the plus sign breaks the formula into 2 parts. Find answer at the front, answer at the back, and then add them together. How many lines of work? 4. Okay, that's what I'm expecting to see in your work. Any questions about the cylinder? So today we're looking at the cone. Okay, for the cone, actually we looked at the cone already rather. There's your circle, and there's the part that wraps around. The part that wraps around is not really a true triangle though. The part that wraps around has a curved spot. Okay, whoops, it's curved. So the part that wraps around is curved. The formula is pi rs. Okay. Pi rs plus pi r squared, but sometimes like the paper cup in your homework, you don't need the circle because you have to have it open so you can put water inside. Any questions about the cup? No. So today we're going to do the sphere. Okay, the sphere, you write out your formula, pi r squared, and the question is, what does r squared mean? R squared means r times r. Okay, r squared is r times r. Now, if you drew the net diagram of the sphere, it looks like this, a whole bunch of canoes. Okay. So your net diagram, copy that down. Malik, turn the page, follow along, get off the phone, whatever you're looking at. Net diagram, write that down. Draw 4 canoes side by side, go. Okay. Because it's a weird shape like this, it's not a triangle, it's not a rectangle, it's not a square, it's not a circle, you have to use a special formula. The special formula is 4 pi r squared. Then you substitute in, and then you solve for your answer. Remember, r squared is 5 times 5 because r is 5 for this sphere. Okay. So you're substituting in 5 for the radius and then doing your math. Any questions? Okay. Do you have your net diagram drawn? Next question. So 1 triangle is base times height divided by 2. We're looking at a triangular square pyramid. Square pyramid. So for the pyramid, when you open it up, this is what the net diagram looks like. It looks like a square, and that's going to be base squared. And then it has triangles, 4 of them on each square. Draw this. Now, all those triangles are identical. Okay, those triangles are identical. The height of the triangle equals the slant height of the pyramid. B squared. Yeah, B squared. So it's a base times base because it's a square, so it's B squared. Okay. So we have 4 triangles. When you have 1 triangle, that equals, the area equals of a triangle. I'll write down the word triangle. area equals base times height divided by 2. Okay. Write that down. Triangle area equals base times height divided by 2. So for 4 triangles, we simply take the formula and multiply by what? 4. So 4 times base times height divided by 2. Okay. What that does is it basically causes us to go 4 times BH divided by 2. And so we have a fraction. And we can simplify this fraction. 4 over 2 becomes 2 base times height. But remember what I said about the height? The height of the triangle equals the slant height. And that's why we get the 2bs, because the slant height is the height of the triangle. So the formula then is 4 triangles. Okay, write that down. 4 triangles, which is 2bs. And that's because s replaces the h. Okay, 2bs, that's 4 triangles. Write that down, Ben. So you know if you don't have 4 triangles, you have to change that bs part. And the b squared is the area of the base, which is a square. The part that you have to remember is that b squared is b times b. That's what b squared is. B squared is b times b. So looking at our triangle, our example here, okay, the measurement in the middle is not needed. This h is not needed for anything. And I'll give that h to you to see if you do anything with the number. Okay? You don't need it. What you need to do is make sure that you use the slant height of 9. Okay? So here we have base equals 12, okay, and the slant height is 9. So let's make sure we cross this off, because this is so incorrect it's not funny. Okay? So we're going to write down the correct version, formula 2bs plus b squared. Okay. Then the surface area, we substitute in 2 times b equals 12, times s, which is 9, plus b squared, which is 12 times 12. So you got to get 2 answers. So find 2 answers, then add. So 2 times 12 times 9, 216, plus 144 for the 12 times 12. So underneath, you'd write surface area equals, add them up, 360. Okay, surface area equals 360. And that would be meters squared. So again, be careful that you're using the slant height and not the height. You use the slant height, not the height. Yeah. Yep, that's right. S stands for slant height. Okay, any questions? Good. So again, notes, review, Simon 8. So now in Simon 8, let's go over that. Okay, off. All right. So cone you've done, cylinder we've done. So now we can do number 3 is new, and number 4 is new. Okay. 25 inches is the slant height of the pyramid. Okay, so just be a note of that. The 25 inches is along the slant height line. Okay. Good. Down here, we should be done these ones, done this one. This one, let's go over this one. So number 3. Number 3, they have 4 tennis balls stacked on top of each other. Now the radius of a tennis ball is 3 1/4 inches. Okay? It's 3 1/4 inches. So 4 of them, you multiply it by 4, and so you get exactly 13 inches. That's the height. So you can write down h equals 13, or you can show me the work to find the height. Okay, so for this question, number 3, write down h equals 13, or you can show me the work to find the height. For the radius of the cylinder, it's the radius of the tennis ball, but we're given the diameter, so you divide it by 2, and so you get 13 over 8, which is 1.625 inches. So if you can do that, great. Otherwise, there's the numbers to use for number 3. Write down h equals 13, r equals 1.625. R equals 1.625. Then you put in the formula, substitute, and solve. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, going down, this one is pretty straightforward once you get the height and the radius. This one is 3/8, was a slant height, but you can write down 3.125 for the slant height. Okay, 3.125 for the slant height. This last question, do not do. Okay, don't use the hexagonal fish. Okay, so you can cross off number 5. Okay. Questions, comments, or concerns? I just gotta do some stuff first before I answer that question.
That's fine.
What's that? After. You gotta look in there to do stuff for your project. No, it's part of it though. It's gonna count like a project.